Ladies and gentlemen, how long are you going to stay like this? This is not a question meant to judge you, embarrass you, or compare you with anyone else. It is a question meant to wake you up, a question meant to reach the part of you that already knows you were created for more than routine days, repeated excuses, and postponed dreams. Somewhere deep inside, you are aware that your current position is not your final destination, yet days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and the same patterns continue. So I ask you again honestly and directly, how long are you going to stay like this? We often blame circumstances. We say the timing is wrong, the resources are limited, the support is missing, or the world is unfair. But if we are brave enough to tell the truth, we know that the biggest delay is not outside us, it is within us. It is fear disguised as patience. It is comfort disguised as stability. It is procrastination disguised as planning. While we wait for the right moment, life keeps moving, and time does not slow down to match our hesitation. How long are you going to stay like this? This question is not meant to hurt you, but it is meant to confront you. It asks you to pause, to look inward, and to be honest with yourself in a world where excuses have become easier than truth. Honest self-reflection is rare because it demands courage. It demands that we stop blaming people, situations, luck, and timing, and instead look directly at our own choices. Accountability is uncomfortable, but it is also powerful, because the moment you accept responsibility for where you are, you also gain control over where you can go. Most people spend their lives reacting instead of reflecting. They react to failure with complaints, react to criticism with defensiveness, and react to pressure with avoidance. Reflection, however, asks a deeper question: what role did I play in this outcome? That question is not about guilt, it is about growth. When you are brave enough to answer it honestly, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the author of your own story. We often say we want change, but deep down we resist it because change exposes our habits. It reveals our discipline, our consistency, and our priorities. Honest self-reflection forces us to admit that some of the results we dislike are outcomes we helped create. Not everything is our fault, but everything is our responsibility. That distinction changes everything. Fault looks backward and searches for blame. Responsibility looks forward and searches for solutions. Accountability begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. Lying sounds gentle at first. It says, "I'm just tired," when the truth is, I lack discipline. It says, "I don't have time," when the truth is, I don't prioritize this. It says, "I'll start when I'm ready," when the truth is, I'm afraid to fail. These small lies feel protective, but over time they become chains. They keep you locked in the same place while life keeps moving ahead. Look at your daily routines because they tell the truth about you. Your habits are more honest than your words. You can say you want success, growth, peace, or excellence, but your daily actions reveal what you truly value. Honest self-reflection is the act of aligning your words with your actions. It asks whether the life you are living matches the life you say you want. If it does not, then the problem is not fate, it is focus. Personal accountability is not about being harsh with yourself, it is about being clear with yourself. It is about saying, "This is where I am because of the choices I made, and that means I can choose differently." That realization is empowering. When you own your mistakes, they stop owning you. When you accept responsibility, you stop waiting for rescue and start building results. Many people fear accountability because they think it will crush their confidence. In reality, avoidance is what destroys confidence. Every time you avoid responsibility, a small part of your self-respect disappears. Every time you face it, even when it is uncomfortable, your self-respect grows. Confidence is built when your inner voice knows you are not running anymore. Ask yourself difficult questions. Why do I keep repeating the same patterns? Why do I quit when things get hard? Why do I settle for less than I am capable of? These questions are not meant to shame you, they are meant to sharpen you. Growth begins when excuses end. You cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. Accountability also means accepting that no one is coming to save you. Mentors can guide you, opportunities can appear, and support can help. But no one can do the inner work for you. Your mindset, your effort, and your discipline are personal responsibilities. Once you accept that, you stop waiting for permission and start acting with intention. Honest self-reflection requires silence in a noisy world. It requires moments where you step away from distractions and listen to your own thoughts. In that silence, truth speaks clearly. It tells you where you are strong and where you are avoiding growth. It shows you that the gap between who you are and who you want to be is filled with daily choices, not miracles. Ladies and gentlemen, staying the same is easy because it requires no honesty. Change is difficult because it demands accountability. But the strongest people are not those who never fail. They are those who face themselves without excuses and still choose to rise. The moment you accept responsibility for your life is the moment you reclaim your power. How long are you going to stay like this? How long are you going to remain in a place that feels safe but slowly limits you? Breaking comfort zones is not about dramatic changes or overnight transformations. It is about making a decision to stop protecting the version of yourself that no longer serves you. Comfort is attractive because it feels peaceful, but in reality, it quietly steals your potential. It whispers that you are fine where you are, even when deep down you know you are capable of more. Excuses are the guards of the comfort zone. They stand at the door and convince you not to step outside. They sound reasonable, logical, and even responsible. I'll start when things settle down. I'm not ready yet. This is not the right time. These excuses do not sound like weakness, they sound like wisdom. But over time, they become habits, and habits become prisons. The danger is not in failing. The danger is in never trying because you convinced yourself that waiting was safer. Every comfort zone begins as protection. At some point, in life, it keeps you stable, helps you heal, and allows you to survive. But survival is not the same as growth. What once protected you can eventually restrict you. Breaking out requires awareness and courage, because stepping into discomfort means risking failure, criticism, and uncertainty. Yet those risks are the price of progress. Most people underestimate themselves not because they lack ability, but because they overvalue comfort. They confuse familiarity with security. Just because something is known does not mean it is good for you. Repeating the same routines, staying around the same limits, and accepting the same results may feel predictable, but predictability is not progress. Growth lives in the unfamiliar, and opportunity often waits just beyond what feels comfortable. Excuses also protect our ego. If we never try, we never fail. If we never commit, we never get rejected. But this protection comes at a high cost. The cost is regret. One day, the question will not be what if I fail, but what if I had tried? That question is heavier, because it has no second chance. Failure teaches, regret haunts. Breaking the comfort zone does not mean you suddenly become fearless. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act despite fear. Every meaningful step forward feels uncomfortable at first. Starting a new discipline, learning a new skill, speaking up, or changing a habit all create resistance. That resistance is not a sign to stop, it is a sign that growth is happening. Excuses often point outward, but growth points inward. When you say, "I can't because of them," you give away your power. When you say, "I won't because it's hard," you choose comfort over character. Responsibility returns power to you. The moment you stop justifying why you cannot change and start asking how you can change, your mindset shifts from limitation to possibility. Comfort zones shrink your world. They make your dreams smaller so they fit your current effort. They convince you to lower your standards instead of raising your skills. Breaking free expands your vision. It reminds you that discomfort is temporary, but transformation is lasting. The struggle you avoid today becomes the strength you lack tomorrow. Look at the moments in your life when you grew the most. They were not comfortable moments. They were moments of pressure, uncertainty, and challenge. Growth rarely feels good in the moment, but it always feels worth it in hindsight. Comfort feels good now, but it rarely feels meaningful later. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are waiting to feel comfortable before you act, you may be waiting forever. Action creates confidence, not comfort. The first step outside your comfort zone may be small, but it is powerful because it breaks the pattern of excuses. Once that pattern is broken, momentum begins, and momentum changes everything. How long are you going to stay like this? The cost of staying stuck is far greater than most people realize. Every day you remain in the same place, repeating the same routines, telling the same stories about why you can't move forward, you are silently paying a price. That cost is measured not in money or time alone, but in lost potential, lost confidence, lost opportunities, and a quiet erosion of self-respect. Staying the same may feel safe, but safety without growth is a trap, and every moment of inaction compounds the distance between who you are and who you could be. Consider for a moment how much energy you invest in complaining, worrying, or blaming circumstances. That energy, if redirected, could produce tangible results. Every excuse you make to stay in your comfort zone or avoid change has a hidden cost. It costs your self-belief. It costs your opportunities. It costs your ability to inspire others and impact the world around you. The problem is, when we remain passive, we often don't notice the cost immediately. It shows up subtly in our dissatisfaction, in our quiet frustration, and in that nagging sense that life is passing us by. But make no mistake, the cost is real, and it grows every day you delay action. Time is the most precious resource we have, yet it is the one we waste most easily. Every minute you spend avoiding effort, every hour you spend postponing your dreams, is a minute and hour you cannot get back. Time does not stop because you are hesitant. Life does not wait for you to feel ready. The years go by, and with them, opportunities vanish. People who stay stuck often blame luck or circumstances, but the truth is, those who advance are not necessarily luckier. They are the ones willing to take responsibility for their time and use it wisely. To remain stagnant while life moves forward is to spend your most valuable resource without return. The cost of staying the same also shows up in your mindset. Human beings adapt to their environment and their habits, which means the longer you remain passive, the more entrenched your limitations become. Your mind begins to accept mediocrity as normal, and what once felt uncomfortable starts to feel routine. This is dangerous because it lowers your expectations of yourself and silently convinces you that you cannot achieve more. Each day you allow fear, procrastination, or doubt to dominate your choices. You are reinforcing the very habits that keep you from progress. Change becomes harder the longer you delay it, and growth becomes scarcer because your mind has been trained to settle for less. The cost of staying the same is also emotional. It creates a subtle but persistent dissatisfaction, a feeling that life is not aligning with your potential. You might try to ignore it with distractions, temporary pleasures, or social comparison, but it never truly goes away. That dissatisfaction can morph into frustration, resentment, or even regret if you do not act. Regret is heavier than failure because failure is temporary and teachable, but regret is permanent. It reminds you every day of the chances you did not take and the life you could have built if only you had acted. The emotional weight of staying the same can quietly erode your confidence, your optimism, and even your joy. There is also a social cost. People who remain stagnant can unintentionally limit not only themselves but those around them. Your circle, your family, your colleagues, and even your community are influenced by the energy you bring. When you avoid growth, you inadvertently send a message that stagnation is acceptable. But when you take responsibility, face challenges, and push yourself beyond your current limits, you inspire others to do the same. Your progress becomes a model, a spark that ignites potential in those who witness your courage. Staying the same might feel personal, but its effects ripple far beyond you. Now, the reward of taking action is equally clear. The cost of staying the same is tangible, but so is the reward of moving forward. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. Momentum transforms fear into confidence, effort into skill, and small actions into long-term results. The first step may be uncomfortable, even scary, but it is worth it because it shifts your life in a new direction. Growth is not immediate, but it is inevitable when you consistently choose action over stagnation. Unlike the cost of inaction, the rewards of change accumulate exponentially. Each choice to do better, to push harder, and to rise above hesitation compounds your potential. The cost of staying the same becomes clearer when we consider what life might look like if nothing changes. Imagine looking back 5 or 10 years from now and realizing you are still in the same place, facing the same struggles, repeating the same patterns. The thought alone can be unsettling. But now imagine the alternative, taking responsibility today, choosing growth over fear, and committing to action even when it is uncomfortable. The life you create in that scenario is richer, fuller, and more aligned with your true potential. The difference between the two realities is not luck, It is choice. It is accountability. It is courage. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is simple but not always easy to hear. Every day you remain where you are is a day you could have used to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every moment of hesitation carries a cost that no one else will pay for you. Growth requires action, courage, and persistence. It asks that you face the discomfort of change, challenge the habits that no longer serve you, and take responsibility for your life. The cost of staying the same is high, but the cost of taking action is nothing compared to the reward of finally moving forward. Time is relentless, and life is waiting. How long are you going to stay like this? Every day is an opportunity to reduce the cost, reclaim your time, and invest in the future you deserve. The longer you delay, the higher the price. The moment to act is now, because no one else can do it for you, and no moment will ever come again exactly like this one. The cost of staying the same is visible, measurable, and undeniable. The question is, will you continue paying it, or will you take action and change your life today? How long are you going to stay like this? Choosing growth over fear is one of the most difficult but most rewarding decisions a person can make. Fear is natural. It tells us to protect ourselves, to avoid risk, and to stay within familiar boundaries. But when fear becomes the reason we stop trying, it becomes a prison. Many people live their entire lives reacting to fear, letting it dictate their choices, and telling themselves that comfort and safety are more important than progress. The problem is that life does not reward caution and inaction. Life rewards courage, persistence, and the willingness to step into the unknown, even when it is uncomfortable. Choosing growth over fear is not a one-time decision. It is a daily commitment to refuse stagnation and embrace challenge. Fear disguises itself in many forms. Sometimes it comes as self-doubt, convincing you that you are not capable of more. Sometimes it comes as overthinking, endlessly weighing options to avoid making a choice. Sometimes it comes as avoidance, keeping you busy with distractions to delay action. Whatever form it takes, fear's goal is always the same: to keep you where you are. Growth, on the other hand, requires action even in the presence of fear. It requires moving forward despite uncertainty and stepping into discomfort with the belief that what awaits is greater than what you leave behind. The difference between fear and courage is action. Choosing growth over fear means deciding that the value of progress is higher than the comfort of hesitation. One of the reasons fear is so powerful is because it feels urgent and convincing. When you are afraid, it whispers warnings of failure, embarrassment, or loss, making staying the same seem safe. But safety is an illusion when it keeps you from realizing your potential. Staying in the same patterns may protect you from immediate discomfort, but it slowly erodes confidence, creativity, and opportunity. Growth asks you to confront the temporary discomfort of fear in exchange for long-term transformation. The pain of growth is short, but the pain of staying the same is endless and cumulative. It's a choice between temporary struggle and permanent stagnation. Choosing growth over fear also requires clarity. Many people fail to move forward because they are unsure what they want or where they are going. Fear feels magnified when the path is unclear, but clarity is not always the result of certainty. Often, clarity comes from action itself. Taking the first step, even if it is small, creates momentum, and momentum generates insight. You do not need to have the perfect plan, the ideal circumstances, or complete confidence to begin. You only need the courage to act and the commitment to learn along the way. Growth is not a product of comfort. It is a product of consistent effort in the face of fear. Another essential part of choosing growth over fear is redefining failure. Fear thrives on the belief that failure is the end, that mistakes are permanent, and that setbacks are shameful. In reality, failure is feedback, not a verdict. Every successful person has faced setbacks, rejections, and moments of doubt. What separates those who grow from those who stagnate is the willingness to view fear as a signal to act, rather than a reason to stop. Choosing growth over fear means understanding that discomfort, mistakes, and challenges are part of the journey, not reasons to retreat. This choice also requires self-belief. Fear thrives on doubt, but confidence thrives on action. Each step you take outside your comfort zone weakens fear and strengthens belief in yourself. When you confront challenges, you discover strengths you did not know you had. resilience you did not realize existed, and potential that was always inside you. Growth is not about eliminating fear, it is about developing the courage to act despite it. The more consistently you choose growth, the less control fear has over your life, and the more capable you become of creating the life you desire. Time is another factor that makes choosing growth over fear urgent. Every day that passes without action is a day lost. Opportunities do not wait. Circumstances change and life moves forward whether you are ready or not. Fear often convinces you that waiting will make things easier, but waiting only allows habits of inaction to grow stronger. Growth requires immediacy, a decision to act today, not tomorrow. The moment you decide to move past fear, you shift from being a passive observer of life to an active participant. The first step creates momentum, and momentum transforms hesitation into progress. Choosing growth over fear is also about mindset. Life will always present uncertainty, challenges, and situations outside your control. Fear will always exist, but mindset determines whether you let it dominate you or empower you. A growth mindset does not guarantee comfort, but it guarantees progress. It teaches you to see obstacles as opportunities, failure as feedback, and fear as a signal to act. When you adopt this mindset, life becomes a series of lessons instead of a series of limits, and the question of how long you will stay the same becomes easier to answer, because every day you grow, you move closer to the person you are capable of becoming. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is clear. Choosing growth over fear is not easy, but it is necessary. Life does not wait for hesitation, and potential does not flourish in the absence of challenge. Every day you remain where you are is a day wasted in fear, comfort, or indecision. Every moment you act despite fear builds momentum, courage, and confidence. The choice is simple in theory but demanding in practice. Remain stuck and safe, or confront fear and grow. Fear will always be present, but the power to act in its presence is yours. The question remains, how long are you going to stay like this? Every moment of delay is an opportunity lost, but every decision to act is a step closer to the life you were always capable of living. Growth is waiting, fear is temporary, and the choice is yours.